doctoral programs and our doctoral students, we all live in very interesting times. So doctoral education is continuously changing, but still I feel like it is today needed more than ever. Our post-truth world and complex social systems need individuals with broad knowledge, sense of responsibility, ethics, and critical thinking skills. Our graduates, they don't only need to know how to apply existing knowledges, but they are also in the forefront of creating new and alternative pathways, imagining possibilities and rethinking taking for granted practices and systems. Doctoral programs are alive and they are breathing. Currently, the air is increasingly neoliberal in this academic context. So therefore, doctoral programs face many external demands and expectations, but there's also a lot of many internal challenges. For example, our doctoral programs have been asked to take a closer look into their practices, goals, and future directions. Faculty and program committees are addressing these challenges by developing sustainable support structures, collaborative partners, and funding mechanisms. In the EDD side, faculty are developing new programs, such as the Special Education Leader Scholar Community and EDD in the Learning Systems Leadership, while others are encouraged to clearly define program goals, role of specializations, core structures and flows, especially in the PhD side of the programs. We are also keen on finding ways to utilize interdisciplinarity, multiple forms of expertise, and knowing to enhance our curriculum, include more faculty in the doctoral activities, and think through alternative pathways and models, such as training grants and other ways to integrate these different support structures into our curriculum in more deeper and meaningful ways. Today is a day to think with each other and think with the doctoral executive committee members and students and faculty in our programs. It would be great if we could dedicate the day to the doctoral education and brainstorming. What might the doctoral programs become, and what kind of challenges and supports we might be facing in the future. So thanks for coming, and I hope that you have a great day and you enjoy our program today. And now I would like to welcome Dean Carole Basile, and she will give us some insights to the doctoral programs from her perspective. Welcome, Carole.
In another life of mine, I worked for a company that was a design firm. We did a lot of work for architects, major architects in Houston. The company actually designed commercial kitchens, and I ran this company. I was sort of the general manager for this company. And my boss at the time, and I was probably, I don't know, my late 20s running this company. And my boss at the time said to me, "Are you somebody who likes to know a little about a lot of things, or are you somebody who likes to know a lot about a very narrow something?" And I said, definitely the former. And at the time, he told me that was my character flaw. And it is interesting now looking back at that comment and thinking about that and looking where I am today and thinking about our doctoral programs and this issue of who people are and where they go with their work and their study and the impact that they want to have and where they want to have it, and this idea of breadth and depth. And so a lot of folks today say to me, this whole next education workforce piece, where's the research that tells you this is right? And I say to them, it's everywhere. Because you have to know a little about a whole lot of things to tell you that actually if we're going to make an impact in very, very complex, dynamic issues that we have today in education, then you better be looking at some level very broadly, because there's a lot to know and a lot to be learned from a lot of different places and a lot of different areas. And we have to reach across and beyond even education to understand and to really think about how these kinds of solutions come to be. And so here we are talking about doctoral work, which we have typically and traditionally thought of as very deep knowledge, very expert knowledge, sometimes in a very narrow area. And I think what you're here today to think about, right, both PhDs and EDDs, is where are we on that continuum? And what makes sense given where we think people need to be and where they're going to go. And I will tell you, just because people are coming to a university or want to be faculty at a university doesn't mean that they should be at one end, and just because they want to be practitioners, they should be at the other end. And that's what you have to wrestle with. You have to figure out where on that continuum of breadth and depth, and what kinds of experiences you believe that somebody today with an education doctorate needs to have, that both are equal, both are the same, all of that has value no matter where people are on that continuum. We need everybody. But that's the thing that you're wrestling with, I think, most of all. So even faculty here, we've got a lot of students here. I'm happy to see a lot of students here today, struggle with that because the world is changing very quickly. It's hard to stay in your lane for very long because of the complexity of the work that we do. And there are people here who represent a change and a pivot. I represent a change and a pivot over the last 25 years of my academic career, just because of where I've been, what I've done, where I've moved to, what the environment was, what the context was. And that's just the way people shift in their lives. And I think we're going to see more of that. So you have to start by thinking about the complex issues of what we're dealing with today in education. And they still remain very, very complex issues. And these are not just education issues. They're social issues, they're economic issues, they're issues of democracy. We talk about our imperative of equity, economy, and democracy. And those things that come together. And the question you have to ask yourself is, what are the experiences that our doctoral students need, no matter which way they want to go, no matter where they are in that continuum, and which way they want to lead and where they want to go. But there has to be some flexibility in all of that. So to come in and think that, well, people need to go through a doctoral program like I went through, doesn't make any sense anymore, because the world has changed. And so that's what I think you're going to wrestle with today. That's what I hope you wrestle with today, is thinking about these programs, what we're doing, what it means to be an expert, what it means to be a leader, what it means to come into the world of education today and actually say that if you're a graduate of Arizona State University, that you are about innovation, that you are about principled innovation, but that you're really thinking about impact and where you want to have that impact. So I do hope you all have a great day. I'm glad to see so many folks here. I hope it will be a rich discussion, and thank you very much.